All right, g'day, hello everybody, and welcome to Create PT Wealth's Facebook Marketing for Fitness Professionals webinar. I'm going to get launched straight into the presentation today. Now, it'll be safe to say that over the next 45 minutes or so to 1 hour max, I can't teach you everything and we won't be able to teach you everything. But along the way, what we'll do is we'll make some suggestions, we'll make some recommendations. We've got some templates and some tools that we want to share with you, which we really believe can fast track your progress. Now, I've got a very special guest joining me today who I'm going to introduce to you very shortly. But meanwhile, I'll just let you know a little bit about my background for those of you who I haven't yet met, and why would you listen to me, and why would you be a part of Create PT Wealth's ongoing webinar. So I spent 20 years in the fitness industry building up the business Peak Physique to having 13 personal trainers and doing 200 hours of personal training every single week. Along the way, I become Australia's highest paid personal trainer at $440 for a single 45-minute personal training session. And now what I do alongside my business partner, Jason Urbano, is we both run Create PT Wealth, and that's what we've done for the last 8 years. And so in the last 8 years, we've educated over 6,500 personal trainers on our methods, our systems. So we have a number of ongoing business coaching and business mentoring programs. So any of you who want to find out more about getting a coach, getting a mentor, finding out more, then all we encourage you to do is put your name and your best contact details into the questions box, and we can chat with you about that. And we do have a number of other resources that can really help you and assist you in your fitness business. Look, what makes us different, what currently makes us, Australia's largest and, #1 fitness business coaching company, we really see the 3 pillars to success, and that's having the business system. So that's the left-hand side of your screen right now. So it's making sure that you really be able to earn that income that you do desire. And on the right-hand side of your screen, it's the personal development. Now, we see that those two things just go absolutely hand in hand. So the business systems, the templates, the tools, we can hand you that stuff. However, it's definitely what's going on inside between someone's ears that's going to make the difference to them being able to overcome any self-sabotaging roadblocks and be able to have exactly what they want in business. And finally, down the bottom, it's the accountability. It's having your very own coach every single step of the way. People who've been there, done it, and can assist and help you. And what we say, just like we're teaching you to do, is to run a successful business. We follow that model as well. So, we are backed up by a team of dead set experts. We're not just a one-man band. We have a large, what you might say, team, a large group of people with varied and wide skill sets, and that's our difference. But more importantly, it's the difference it can make to fitness trainers, businesses. And this gentleman that we've got up on the screen, Chris Cochran, one of our success stories, he was actually featured in a magazine just before Christmas, and when he wrote this testimonial for us, at that point in time, he was earning $60,000 per month. Now, that $60,000 a month is, as many of you would no doubt recognize, as a fantastic figure to be able to achieve in your fitness business. But that fitness business that he now runs turns over $250,000 per month. So you did hear that correctly. That's $250,000 per month. And these are some of the success stories and people that have come through our mentoring, our methods, our coaching. Chris's business called Rapid PT in Sydney, it's now Australia's largest independent personal training company, most successful, and we're very proud to be able to see the people that come through our program and what they're able to achieve. But we're here today to talk about marketing and talk specifically in the area of Facebook marketing. So what I'd like to do is just start with, I guess, what I would say some really mandatory learning in the area of understanding your target market. And the reason I say this is way too often I see many people overlook this particular thing. You do really need to know who it is that you are speaking to. And what I mean by that is you really need to narrow this down, right down to things like age demographics, right down to things like what type of background these people come from. So are you talking to busy professionals that lead a high corporate life with high stress. They work long hours. They find themselves unwinding on alcohol, and you're the person that can come in and make that difference and be able to provide a solution to their problems. Now, if you start to know all this stuff, the beauty is that you can go and find these people, and you know exactly where they are. So before you launch into any type of marketing, and specifically on Facebook, but really any type of marketing, what we'd heavily encourage you to do is, what I would say is to go back to what I would call some of the basics on understanding a niche. And we call it, finding a niche that's an inch wide and a mile deep. Now, if you still haven't figured this bit out yet, and you still, it can be a struggle for you, I'd encourage you to get onto some resources. Now, we got some resources that we can definitely share with you at absolutely no cost to you. But any of our Create PT Wealth presentations on topics like how to stand out from the pack, and also USP, standing for unique selling proposition. Now, any of you on this particular program at the moment that you're watching, if you've been to one of our 2-day events, you would already have some of our DVDs or our online learning materials, and we'd encourage you to revise that stuff again. Any of you who haven't yet had a chance to be along to one of our events and get your hands on some of that stuff, I'd encourage you to read chapters 3 and 4 from our #1 best-selling book, A Personal Trainer's Guide to Wealth Creation, because that's where we get through the nuts and bolts of it. And every time we put together a marketing campaign, when we're speaking with somebody, it's the first question that we have. Okay, who's the target audience? What message are we sending to this audience? What problems, what fears, what frustrations do they have, etc. Anyone who doesn't yet have a copy of that book that you're seeing now, just put your name in the questions box, put your name and put book, and we will get you a digital copy just for you being on this webinar. So we want to blow you away with information and content whilst you're working with us. So just put that in there. If you haven't got that yet, we'll get that to you by close of business today. Next thing you can do, and this is again absolutely free, is you can jump on and subscribe to our podcast. We've got 35 podcasts there. We've got literally hours and hours of information that can really help you and assist you in this area. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can jump on through SoundCloud, and you're witnessing that at the moment. Alternatively, you can subscribe directly through iTunes, which enables you to have those automatically downloaded, etc. And what I would say is all this stuff is really considered pre-learning before you even go and start to design a content creation calendar. Now, we've got our Facebook expert here, and the gentleman who I'll introduce you to very shortly. He's definitely one of this country's and one of the world's leading experts in this particular area. So he's going to be speaking heavily about some strategies on Facebook. But what I'd say is you do need to consider all this stuff before you start a content creation calendar. And that's our next piece of advice, is that you do need to design a content creation calendar. Now, someone said before, one of their frustrations is just simply that, it's just having content. So you need to have yourself email blasts or emails that you can send to people, which is current, which is specific, which is getting them excited about what you've got on offer at this very point in time. Autoresponder sequences, which are pre-written or pre-prepared emails, which have a specific objective to get people to take action on something. And of course, you've got things like general monthly email newsletters. Now, when you read this, and what we find is that sometimes some of this can seem a bit overwhelming. It's like, oh my God, you want me to do email blasts, autoresponders, monthly email newsletters. And I just want to let you know that when you have the right guidance, we can really show you how to fast track this stuff so it doesn't become a massive, laborious task. We also have, inside your content creation calendar, everything about Facebook. So how frequently you do your Facebook posts, when you would design ads, when you would retarget to people, etc., etc. Then you'd consider your other methods of social media. Now, of course, your other methods of social media are going to be specific to your target market. So if I was to give you 2 examples, let's say I was speaking about the busy executive or busy professional that is, let's say, traveling interstate once or twice a week, my question is, do you think they'd be hanging out on Instagram or would they be hanging out on LinkedIn? Well, I think the obvious answer to that was more than likely they'd be hanging out on LinkedIn. So that's the space that you need to hang out in to be able to communicate with those people. On the flip side, if you were targeting females that are sitting maybe between the early 20s to mid 30s, thereabouts age bracket, want the bikini body conscious, etc., good chance they're probably going to be on Instagram, so it gives you some idea on where you need to be putting your resources and your energy. Of course, having good quality content via blogs and articles enables you to share this stuff more frequently and more rapidly on your Facebook page. And also, audios, videos, podcasts, etc. This stuff, again, what we find is that some people can read this about audios, making videos, making podcasts. It can seem a little bit daunting or a little bit overwhelming if you've never done it before. But in this day and age, this stuff is incredibly easy to do. It's very, we live in definitely a digital age where, you pick up your iPhone, you can shoot a quick tip, a quick fitness tip, something that can make a difference in somebody and really does enable you to build a relationship with that person. So this list could become quite large, and so what you'll see in a moment, if not already on your screen, will be how we put together one of our marketing modality calendars. So you can go through your whole list of things that you would use, and you can put down the frequency, how would that be delivered via a marketing channel, what sort of costs would be involved in that, because you'll have a bunch of stuff that will be free, of course. And there'll be other stuff where you'll have to pay, for example, designing a Facebook ad. And then you can write some comments and so forth in there. Now, when you go through you go through something like this, it really enables you to see clearly where you can focus your time, your energy, and your resources. And of course, through a process of elimination, it'll enable you to figure out, all right, well, I've made a list of 30 things that I could do, but I've figured out that for me right now, I just need to focus on these top 5 things, because they're going to give me the best bang for my buck, or they're going to give me the best return on my investment via time or energy, etc. Any of you who want to get your hands on this marketing modality calendar, I'm happy to give it to you, okay, as a special guest. So just write in the questions box calendar, and your name will be attached to that comment, so we'll know that we'll get that across to you. We've got this formatted up in an A1 size, which is a poster size, so you can stick it up on your, in your office or in your area, so that you can just see this stuff every single day. So I'd encourage each and every one of you to, to take advantage of this stuff that we have on offer for you. All right, what I want to do at this point in time is prepare you for the gentleman who I'm about to welcome. And this particular guy, his name is Brett Campbell. And Brett Campbell, we've had the privilege of knowing Brett Campbell for about 7 years now. He originally started come through as a student of Create PT Wealth. Has had massive success inside his business, and I'll invite Brett in a moment to say a bit more when I take him off mute and bring him along. But Brett's you literally build a community of over 400,000 people in less than 3 years, and he is amongst the world's leading experts in the fields of both online marketing, in lead generation, in systems, and in social media strategies. We're also very fortunate that we're going to have Brett along with us as a special guest presenter. Now, given the busy schedule of us at Create PT Wealth and also Brett himself, it's rare that we can team up together for an event like this. So we've been able to narrow down 2 dates where we're going to have Brett come along as our special guest presenter on our 1-day Facebook Marketing for Fitness Professionals program. So if you've ever felt like your marketing budget has been flushed down the toilet, or noticed that the money you've been investing simply ends up in a marketing black hole, then we want to show you how you can gain a significant return on your investment, plus understand each and every part of the process. So we're very lucky to have that along. So that'll be in Brisbane on Thursday, the 11th of Feb, and in Sydney on Thursday, the 10th of March, and you'll be receiving an email for a link to that website, and I'll be speaking about that a little bit later today. But what I want to do now is to go in and I want to introduce the gentleman that will be our guest presenter today, and he's going to be talking about the 7 pillars to building a profitable return on investment funnel, simply called ROI. So let me get you off mute, Brady.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I am fantastic, brother. As always, happy to be here with everyone.
Absolutely, mate. Well, look, I gave you a brief introduction, mate. What I wouldn't mind you to do is just give the guys a little bit more insight into some of the other things you've done business-wise. 400 leads online is a pretty remarkable thing, but you've also run successful fitness businesses. So give us just a little bit of a snapshot in that.
Yeah, mate, most definitely. And I'm going to keep this very high-intensity process purely based on the fact that I know everyone didn't come here to listen to me talk about me, but again, just to add some context to this, mate, the real quick snapshot was started as a personal trainer, become really good at being able to get clients, but realized there was something more to it. And then I wanted to break out of, I was working in a gym at the time, and I wanted to break out of that and start my own business outside. And to do that, I couldn't rely no more on the leads that were coming through in the gym scene. So I was working at a big box gym, and it just wasn't hard because there was people there that I could talk to. So I needed to get creative, and I needed to find a way how I could then start marketing to the people in my wider community to be able to get our products and services in front of them. And my long story short, I cracked the code on that, and we started generating a lot of buzz, a lot of there was a lot of, around the time, it was 2012, so it was literally only 3.5 years ago, this really took place. Was we created a brand called Fit Chicks, and it was female only. So you talked about this at the start of this presentation about finding your niche. So we were going after the female market, so to speak, and we just became really good at being able to get leads online, utilizing Facebook, building our fans and following in communities, etc. It led to something that I wasn't even intentionally going into, and that was the fact of building a franchise business. So we, with the methods and the exact process that I'm going to go through in a moment, with the 7 pillars to building your own profitable return on investment funnel, this is exactly how we built our business to 35 locations within 6 months. Like, it just rapidly grew, like, extremely fast. Not only that, it's the exact same process that we've been able to sell out a fitness retreat. We had 176 people on a waiting list. We took 35 ladies over to Bali, sold out in 24 hours, and a whole heap of other things. So safe to say that what I'm about to share with you, I really hope everyone who is online, and there's a lot of you right now, take this process and start implementing it, because we could give you the best Facebook ad, or we could give you the exact process on how to get 100,000 fans, but if you don't have what I'm about to share with you, you're not going to be able to capitalize on that. I heard someone say at the start, they want to know how to actually, they're not having a trouble getting leads, they want to know how they can put them through the funnel, how to take them through the process. So I'm going to show you one of the methods that literally this exact funnel has made millions of dollars and generated closer to 450,000 leads now. I need to update that. And that, just to put some context, in the month of January, we're closing up to 20,000 leads already, which is pretty cool.
Good number.
So, mate, you want me to just rock on into this?
Yeah, mate, over to you.
All right, and because I really do like interacting and not just talking to my computer screen and my microphone, if anyone does have questions that pop up, Brad, mate, you arm the questions box, and if you feel the need to ask me a question, please do so, and we can go from there.
Sweet,
I'm sure there's going to be many questions.
I'm all over it.
So, you're a legend, mate. Does everyone know that Brad's a legend? So first things first, 7 pillars to building your profitable return on investment funnel. And just to give you, if you're not sure what ROI means, it's basically a return on investment. So our goal here is to be able to build your email list for free. And the first thing that we need to do, can you stop moving your mouse, Brad? I've got ADHD, mate, and I'm following the mouse on the screen, right? So the first thing you need to do is break the trance. Break the trance that someone is currently going through. People who are on Facebook are not there to buy your products, okay? Once we establish that as the truth, we then can be able to start to realize, what do we need to do? We need to take them out of the trance that they are currently in, which may be just a thumb swipe up and down for all our Tinder fans, it's a finger swipe left and right. It's about taking you from what you're currently doing to embarking on a nice and easy flow. So it's about creating and taking someone through their perfect customer journey, and breaking the trances simply could be a Facebook post, it could be a Facebook offer, it could be a video that you put on your Facebook page. But in this case, and if you want to really scale your business fast and get a lot of clients and a heap of money, you need to start actively advertising with Facebook. So the second component is, once you've taken them through being able to break the trance, the second thing we need to look at is the compelling reason why. And B-Rad, that's you, mate, to bring that up, my friend. The compelling reason why. And what we need to do is we need to have something that is going to grab the attention of that person. Now, we've all been through it. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. We all have signed up to someone's email list before. So in our case, in the exact funnel that we use, an example is you might give away a workout program, or you might give away an actual workout, not a workout program. You may give away a meal plan. You may give away a 3-minute video tip on the best method to burn fat, or the best method to get rid of your belly fat. I'm getting specific on that. So once they've given you their name and email, all right, the next process that we need to go through is what we would call our lower barrier of entry. Okay, and this is what we call the lower barrier of entry opportunity. And this is where it is our opportunity to start making money immediately on the front end. So B-Rabbit, if you bring up the slides, mate, I'm going to have to sack you as slide coordinator, I think. So the LBE opportunity is your opportunity to generate the income that's going to inevitably pay for your advertising. Okay, because you can't continually outlay money without getting the return. So for an example, let's say in our case, we are offering we've got many different funnels, but in one of our funnels we offer a workout program. So it's an at-home workout program. But I can hear what you're already saying, but I don't want an at-home workout program. I want people to be able to come into my facility. Don't worry, I've got you covered, because that will happen anyhow. If you give them great delivery, or they actually purchase your LBE offer, which can be anywhere from $10 to a $97 offering. In some cases, we've used it as the LBE opportunity is for $67, they get a 21-day kickstart, right? So they come on and they purchase a 21-day kickstart, which gives them 3 weeks of training and a whole heap of other things. But again, the LBE opportunity is you need to test and measure what seems to be working for you. How we've been able to scale and generate hundreds of thousands of leads, our LBE opportunity, and our best one to date, has been a workout program. And that's something we sell for like a $47 opportunity. Then the next process that we follow is, mate, good.
How good's that?
Brad. Got it. You're on there. It only took us 4 for you to have this synergy between us, but we're there, mate. The next opportunity is the ascension process. And I want you to think of this not just for this particular funnel, but in your business as a whole. So if you're sitting there and you're selling in a client, this is where the ascension process would come in. Is the what's next? What else do you have that they can purchase off you that is, quote, going to complement the original purchase? Okay, so for an example, in ours, we have a workout program, and the ascension process is we're going to offer them a meal plan that accommodates with the program. So it's something that complements what they just jumped on board with. So for an example, with that, if you're using this process and you're thinking outside of this particular funnel and you're going, well, how do I use this? I'm a gym trainer and I don't have none of this yet. That's cool. There's lessons to take from all of this. And you could be sitting down with a client and you're like, look, thank you, Mrs. Jones. You signed up for 3 times per week, $85 per session. Now that you've taken that step, would you like to, and then you can offer them anything that's going to be of a complement to that. Now, maybe you sell supplements. Maybe you do massage on the side. Maybe you have an affiliate relationship with a yoga instructor and you want to get them flexible, etc. There's always something more, and the person who has already purchased from you is far more likely to purchase from you again. The next phase in building a profitable return on investment funnel, and this is something that's missed many times, and after coaching hundreds of people myself and entrepreneurs with their online or offline business, they, even when I share this, they're like, oh yeah, why aren't I doing that? And this is called the booster offer. If you've offered them one thing and they've taken it up, why not offer them another thing, right? You can learn that from any TV infomercial you ever watch. You know, you go through, buy this, hey, but we're going to give you this, and if you buy that, we'll give you X, Y, Z. You know, it's just, why are you not offering the person the next thing? And this is why we call it the booster offer. Now, the booster offer doesn't necessarily have to be in direct reflection to the original purchase. The booster offer could be its own total outside thing. And an example might be, for us, is for our lower barrier of entry product opportunity, we have a workout program. The Ascension process is we offer them a meal plan, some ab workouts, and a couple of other things. The booster offer is where we have a standalone product. So this is where you could utilize something else that you have. And the booster offer is where we offer for $10, it's a lower barrier price, so it's not a real high price point. It's basically the no-brainer. You know, it's like when you're going shopping and you're walking through the supermarket and you're at the self-serve checkout and you look to your right and you see for $1 you can get a picnic, right? You're like, well, that's a no-brainer. Why would I not get that picnic for $1? You want them to be thinking, what a no-brainer for me to take this up.
So we need to get you bought in the last 24 hours, hey?
That's why I no longer do the shopping, my friend. So the next process after the booster offer goes to where do I go? Okay, and the where do I go basically means once someone's purchased from you, okay, once someone's showing their commitment to you and invested in what it is that you have because they obviously believe that you can solve their current problem or desire, where do they go? What happens? And I like to phrase this as, and we won't go into this part today because this is basically what I'm snapping up here is a 90-minute presentation in itself, but the where do I go is we send someone into what we call a purchase sequence, okay? And this sort of ties in with what Brad was saying a little bit earlier with, you know, you need to send emails, autoresponders, all of this. But the purchase sequence is an automated response. So once someone purchases from you, how are you actually gathering feedback, testimonials? How are you actually offering them other products and services? Because as entrepreneurs and fitness professionals, I know that a lot of the time it's always like, where's my next client coming from? Where's my next client coming from? Versus, how do I keep the clients I've currently got purchasing more frequently? Right? Because it's much more easier to offer another program product to someone if they've already purchased your product and it's good and they're getting the results. So where do I go? So I want you to think, what is your after purchase sequence? So what are the steps that someone takes? For an example, whether we've got online product or they're at one of our locations, it's we send them a strategic email at a certain time frame asking them for feedback. We also send another strategic email at a certain time frame asking them for a testimonial about their experience and if we're able to share their successes, etc. Because you don't want to have in your mind going, geez, I need to ask for testimonials today, I need to ask for testimonials today. Whilst I would put a caveat around that and say you should anyway, but imagine having that backup system, so the post-purchase process. So what we do is we get, if we're talking about the funnel I'm talking about here with our workout program, we get people sending testimonials into us randomly because, well, oh, that's right, they would have got our set autoresponder email that sends out to them 6 weeks later after they've finished the program. Where do they go? So that's very, very important in itself. But this next one is the most important out of all of these, I believe, and it's what we call the post-pickup process. I just mentioned how, as entrepreneurs, we are predominantly always looking for that next person, that next lead. How do we get more leads? And as they go through our initial purchase, if they don't purchase, you know, straight away, or maybe we ring someone up and we go, hey, would you like to come into our, you know, we're going to offer you this, this, and this. Would you like to come and trial out our services? And they go, oh, no, I'm not really ready. A lot of people just put that person to the side and go, okay, cool, where's the next person coming through? Versus, how do I put this person into the post-pickup process? The post-pickup process is purely designed to be able to get people back into your loop, get people back into your office. Because that's where, on the front end, and we're talking purely here from a return on investment funnel, offering an online service of sorts is purely to try and cover your ad spend. Okay, and if you do it well, you can get a positive return on investment immediately. At the moment, in this time of the season, we're getting close to about an 800% return, which is ridiculous. But that's that whole thing again, capitalizing in on the timing of the year. Fitness professionals, we know people after New Year's want to get fit and healthy, etc. So you need to be aware of that. But this is where the post process.
Just to jump in for just so everyone's clear, if everyone's listening to this, and just to what that might mean. So if you were to spend $100 on advertising through Facebook, you see a direct result of $800 of product that you've sold.
Let me share with you exact numbers there then. Is currently it is costing us 30 cents to acquire a email contact. Our product sells at anywhere from 2 to 5% on the front end. So what that means is it's costing us $30 for 100 leads. Out of 100 leads, we're selling 2 to 5 units. Each unit, actual average spend is $93. And this is, let me just break that down a minute. Our lower barrier of entry opportunity is only 47. Our Ascension process is a further 47. Our booster offer is another $10. So without having these Ascension processes and the booster offers, all you're left with is what the front end cost is, which would be $47. But as people go through our process and we offer them this and then we offer them that, our average spend per customer all of a sudden goes to $93. So you do the maths on that. Let's just say we're only getting 1% conversion rate, right? Currently it's costing us $30 for 100 leads. Out of the 100, if only one person purchased, that's $93. So that's like $63 positive for every single 100 person that's come through. So then the question becomes is how do we get more people coming through our funnel? Right? How do we get more people coming through our funnel? Then how do we tighten up the shoestrings? Because I could rest on my laurels there, and I imagine most people would be happy with spending 30 and making 93. But I could be spending 30 and making a lot more if my conversions were higher. And that's where the post-pickup process really does come to fruition. And that's having a strategic set of emails that are designed to get them to return. Okay, we've talked about that. But start thinking in the terms of, okay, for every dollar I spend, if I can get that dollar back, all of a sudden I've generated a list of X amount of people. So in our case, we're closing in on 20,000 leads. And again, I don't try and share this to impress any of you. It's purely the fact that this is what's extremely possible. I was a personal trainer where I was excited about getting 2 leads a day. We're getting several hundred, even sometimes breaking 1,000 a day. But there's no magic behind that. We're paying for it, right? We're using Facebook for the purposes that Facebook is now built for. Right? We're paying to play, but in order to pay to play, you need to have this funnel in place. That's why I'm not coming on here teaching you how to do Facebook ads right now, because I would almost go on record to say that if you're not converting at least a positive ROI within the first 7 days of your funnel, then you need to address that before you spend any cents on it. Does that make sense, Brad?
Makes sense to me, yeah, absolutely. And so, for 1,000 leads, as I calculated that, you would have spent, say, $300 on Facebook ads in one day to gain those leads. But then, of course, you've got your conversion there, which, like you said, at 2 to 5%. Then it's going to blow that $300 out of the water. Someone just asked. Someone just asked, can they ask questions? Just if you do have a question, you can just type it straight into your questions box there. That's going to be the best way to get a question across. Back to you, Brad.
Yeah, so look, mate, as I was saying, summing up that whole entire process is what people think they need is not actually what they need right now. You don't need 1,000 fans. You don't need 10,000 fans. You don't need 1,000 leads, because if I sent 1,000 leads to you right now, do you know what to do, where to take them, how to put them through the perfect customer journey? Most likely, probably not. Now, there may be a fair few of you on here who do, but the reality of that is I'm yet to see too many people cracking this code on that particular process. And, you mentioned the event a little bit earlier, Brad. I'm going to be breaking this entire process down in far more detail, giving exact examples of what we've got in numbers and all of that stuff, because it's actually easier than you think to be able to do this. You may be sitting there going, oh, but I don't have an idea for a product and or service. Look, you'll have ideas within seconds. And I mean, to put this into context, Brad, is the other day, or actually last year, we took one of our products offline, and what I mean by that is no longer available to purchase. And we were looking at it, and it literally was a workout program. It was filmed in an indoor sports center with green carpet. We went to Spotlight to get a big white, a really big, like 6 meter by 3 meter drop sheet, so we could stick it up against the indoor nets. We filmed after boot camp when we were running a boot camp, and it was a camera that didn't have a lapel mic, so the audio wasn't that great. The light was shining off like a yellowy color, so it didn't look the greatest. And to make things even worse was the light actually had a buzz sound, so it was like zzz in the video. Now that product, we've sold over 10,000 units of that product, and it's had amazing results. So for anyone sitting there going, oh, it's too hard, I'm not really sure, seriously, like if you just heard what I said there, you can create it. But this day and age, it's never been easier to be able to do that. So you don't need to be mumbling around the forest trying to find out what to do.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. Well, mate,
what are some questions, mate?
Let's make a segue now. No questions have rolled in, but feel free if you do have any there. But I guess the next bit is how do you put this all into play? Where do you start? And as you heard before, we're going to be running a couple of workshops, and given the busy schedule that we have, we can only run 2 of them at this point in time. So here's what we're going to be showing you, and Brett, we're going to have you along as well, teaching at these events. We want to show you our 7-step formula for really identifying your niche markets, increasing your lead generation, also implementing that marketing method on Facebook that can really get you consistent and regular weekly leads. As you heard Brett say just before, you don't actually need 1,000 leads. What you actually want is we want quality, because a lot of people say to us, I just want to keep these leads rolling in. We say, well, what are you going to do with them when that happens? You'd be much better having just quality people that you can communicate and connect with. How to design those Facebook ad campaigns effectively. Brett, you want to speak about that bit with the ad campaign side of it? Because you said we're not going into it today, but what could they expect when they come along to this event?
Look, I basically open the kimono. I'm a pretty straightforward dude. I don't hide too much in that aspect, or I don't hide anything. I'll be showing you the exact ads we've used, the exact how we find targeting. I share this information with friends who run $1 million agencies, like $1 million a month Facebook spend agencies, and currently for one of our fan pages, we're getting like 2 cent fans, which to build the fan page, that is a whole nother process in itself, because I know I have said it's not all about the fans, it's about the quality. We 100% agree with that, but it's all about how do you take a fan, then turn them into a prospect and or customer. So definitely going to be going into that in a lot more detail.
And then, of course, we'll talk about a system on how you can convert these new leads into sales appointments, because that's one very critical part and that can often get neglected. So it's marrying these two together. The value to attend this event is $297 for a one-day event, and for us, we believe that represents exceptional value for you to be able to put that forward to come and spend a day to learn this stuff. However, you're on this webinar with us today, and we've got a very, very special early bird option for people, and it's literally just specific to people who are on our list and have attended this webinar today. We're not going to ask you to pay the $297. The early bird special, only for people who have been on the Facebook webinar, is going to bring that rate right down. Now, I'll just give you those 2 dates again. Now, if you're in another state, you're in Melbourne or whatever, and you're going, okay, well, there's only one in Brisbane, only one in Sydney, then what I'd suggest to you is just find a way to get yourself to get there. Just find a way to make it happen, because the offer that we're going to give you, you don't have to be worried too much about investing some money on flights. You literally one day you jump on the first flight in the morning, you jump on a flight back at night, and that's going to get you there. The special bonus you're going to receive is we're going to pass on with you 7 CEC points as well. So we've got you covered in that particular area. So not only the bonuses that you've received through this particular webinar, 7 CEC points, you're going to get to spend a day with myself, with Jason Ubanowicz, and with Brett Campbell, all 3 of us. And like I said, we're not going to ask you to pay the $297. If you take action today, it's going to bring that right down to only $47. So that is correct, and you are reading that correctly. You can literally attend that event for only $47. It's our early bird special, and that early bird special we're running, that's only strictly available until the first run of seats are gone, and once that happens, then the rate is going to go right back up to the regular price. So at $47, you can get yourself to that event. Two ways to book into this event. How do you do it? Well, number one, you'll notice that there's a section on your presentation called handouts, and we've got a Word document on there where you can just simply download that Word document. It will open up for you. It will give you the link, which will take you directly to that Facebook Marketing Workshop website, and that will allow you to just enter yourself directly there. Alternatively, if you prefer to speak to someone in our office or one of our educational team, then just put your best contact number in the questions box, and we will call you after this webinar finishes today to help assist you with your booking. But look, it'll be our recommendation that you do get yourself along to this event. We're going to, like Brett said, every time we've had him along with any of our group, he's been hugely giving with his time, with his energy, and I strongly encourage each and every one of you to not miss out on this opportunity to be able to, get along someone who's producing these type of results, and then think about the difference it can make in your fitness business. Brady, mate, any parting words from you?
But I just want to say, honestly, and I know because I'm speaking there, it probably sounds like I'm trying to promote this event, but anyone there who really is serious about making a difference in their fitness business and learning, think about, you only need one client. You need to pick up one client. And I guarantee you, and I want to throw it over the top, and I know we haven't talked about this, but literally, if you turn up to the event and you feel that you did not get at least $5,000 worth of value, even just from my own session, right? I know you'll get way more from the boys. But if you don't, I'll refund you a ticket price, and I'll even give you another $50 for it. It's ridiculously no-brainer. This is what we would call our booster offer. Right here is an opportunity for you to take your business to the next level. And look, like Brad said, there's nothing more than I love right now. I love sharing this stuff. And, ego aside, you're not going to find anywhere else in Australia who's going to be able to teach you this right now, especially if it's purely dedicated to you growing your fitness business. There's no one else doing it that has results like that. And I only share that because for me, I've had to travel all around the world to try and find people to learn this stuff from, and you've got an opportunity there to spend a day with us going through this. So I hope that helps answer anyone's question.
Absolutely, 100%. And Brett, I want to thank you for your time today and sharing this information with the gang. Look, gang, I'll keep this open now for the next. I'll give you around about 2 minutes just to put your name in there. I noticed a lot of names in there, a lot of numbers. I realise that others of you will be clicking on the link, so I'll just leave that open for about the next 2 minutes. And from myself and Brett, we just want to say thanks very much for being on. We guarantee that the day that you're going to spend with us in this area is going to literally blow you away. So look forward to having you along.